Meantime, we got the final game of this series jumping in. It's B in the color orange playing his French against Wham in the color blue on the Abbasid.
And this is a really important game for both of these players right now. It is match point in the playoffs right now between them. We're in the round of 8 right now. Whoever wins this is going to be able to move on into the round of 6s. It is going to face off against Vortex. So definitely going to be very important for them, because whoever loses this is out of the tournament. The Elite Classic, the playoffs are here. The group stage is over. Whoever loses their sets now is out.
Yeah, and we're looking at Wham's base, and I'm kind of liking this spawn as ABBA, and also as ABBA against French more specifically. 3DB being typical 3DB, going out for the deer. This is something that you'll always see from him playing the French. He moves out with 5 vills, sometimes 6. I think that was 6, and even looking like sending his 7th out there, because he doesn't expect pressure from ABBA, so he can get this better gathering rate and save his sheep for later on as well.
Yeah, it's definitely, it makes a lot of sense. You get so much efficiency out of these deer early on, especially when you go for techs like survival techniques that's coming in just now from him. You get it at a discounted rate as well with the French, 30% cheaper eco tech, so definitely worth it to do it with the French. And yeah, it means that you're going to have a lot of food income when you get to the feudal age. It means that you're going to be able to translate that into just a lot more knights.
Yeah, but as far as Wham's base goes, he has this gold kind of near his berries, which will be kind of the main pressure point, but his wood line on the backside, very easily wallable close to the edge of the map, and there's not a lot of location for B to run behind that if he chooses to do so. He can easily just drop another segment to connect that other wood line near his gold, and then it kind of just protects the whole backside of his eco.
We're seeing a military ring right now from the Abbasid. I like that play. You start off with 2 spearmen right off the bat, helps you deal with these early knights that can be quite pesky to deal with. And in case that there aren't enough knights from your opponent coming out, you can even go on the aggressive. And that's where you're able to maybe hit the deer that are exposed here for B right now. So it's all in the future. We don't know yet if that's going to be the plan, but it's definitely an option. And now School of Cavalry actually getting dropped here on the deer. He has so many villages out there, so it definitely makes sense for him to do it out here. Aging up with 5 villagers as well. He did age up relatively late, so needs to pull 5 villagers in order to get a comparable uptime here.
Yeah, but still should have the resources in the bank for a knight right when it queues, just because he's on the deer, has that extra resource gathering from it. So kind of nice in that regards. But as far as when the first knight comes out, we know that the military wing's already going to be finished, and that means 2 spears are already going to be out and going to protect up from any damage that knight could cause.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of sheep also gathered up here by 3DB, so he's going to be returning back to his base with plenty of bounty to be shared among his villagers. So 8 sheep here behind that scout now. Overall, he only has a normal amount of sheep, but yeah, I guess when you go out to the deer, you don't need to return in between with sheep. But both players looking like they have good normal sheep numbers so far. But that's the benefit, as you said earlier. Oh, okay. Well, I'm noticing. If you go for that deer early on, with many other civilizations, you have a similar bonus. So, example, Abbasid or the Delhi, they don't need to go for the sheep early on. They can go for the berries instead. And once you're maybe at a point in the game where you need to fall back a little bit, need to be a little bit more safe, then suddenly you have all the sheep under your base ready for you. And now, H-Up came in, Wham with the Abbasid, with the military wing, immediately getting some troops out on the field. It's going to be moving towards B side.
Yeah, and I love how he's being aggressive with the first 4 units. You kind of have this opportunity cost with these units. You can afford to be aggressive with these because he knows at most with French, they're going to have a knight out right now. They're not going to be able to have an archery range, have archers out to defend this up. So he really could potentially deny some of these resources from B, and that's exactly what he's looking to do now, stepping up towards the French gold.
Yeah, and that could be a lot of damage that he might find there. He's also getting the hardened upgrade right now on his spearmen. Knight is out to greet them, though. Villagers also getting pulled, cause some idle time there. Now the hardened upgrade is going to be coming in. And B is actually going to have to retreat here a little bit. Knight already heavily damaged. Probably wants to just gather enough gold in order to pop another knight out. If he doesn't get that next knight out, he probably will not be able to push this back. And did grab enough gold for that, but there's even more spearmen now out on the field for Wham. He's pushing out further. He's making more spears, and behind that, he's on stone. He's going for another TC as well.
Yeah, perfect play by Wham, not using these units as defenders, but as aggressors. That first knight is the most crucial one for the French. The health on it, it's already so low, you just see it getting taken down. B's gonna try to micro hit down the low health spearman, but needs to make sure not to lose the knight.
It goes down. That hurts a lot, but Knight, able to kill the spears, is now also going to be able to kill the archers. But there are more spears on their way, and Wham could potentially run... Oh, kills the sheep. Kills the sheep. Gets the sheep. Maybe kills the sheep. Doesn't kill the sheep. Hit the sheep once. Not going to hit it again.
And the next spearman coming to help out, trying to protect up these archers, and only is able to save one of those lives.
Alright, behind this, B also gonna go for a second TC. He is on stone right now, so it's gonna be a second TC from both of these players, but I really like this play so far from Wham. He has taken the matchup and flipped it on its head just by being aggressive with those spears early on, and now it means that all the aggression that B usually wants to put out early on with the French isn't going to happen. Now he was still able to go out on the map and take the deer fully, which in theory is something that Wham could probably still try to deny if maybe he pulls like 4 spearmen and just goes in that direction, but doesn't choose to do so currently. Oh, this could be an ugly timing though, behind the wood line from Wham. He's going for the walls there, but gets it in time.
Quick wall!
Oh, isn't finishing it up though, so all of that wood investment goes to waste, but the thought was there. The thought was there.
I mean,
that's all that
if he
matters.
picks up this knight, it's worth it. Isn't able to pick it up, B paying attention to it, and now we'll be able to secure down that wall. And just how you mentioned with Wham, if he spots out the secondary TC from play from B, he again knows that there's no archers out. So these spearmen could fully deny gold, fully deny the TC location, the deer, whatever they want. And Wham is spotting exactly that, but I think his army might just be a little slow to get there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he spotted the TC timing there from B, but the unit's unlikely to be there in time as there's a lot of other boar!
Any delay right now is huge because all he needs to do is stall this out. He dropped the stables as well that we saw. A horseman should be on the way, and this means the TC's not being built. Military's running. I'm worried for B.
I think it's not going to be in time, though. A lot of these villagers are weak, sure, but the TC gets built now with speed. There's like 12 villagers on that TC, already halfway done, and yeah, that goes... That 100% goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, infantry is just a little bit too slow there to catch up to that.
Yeah. A few more steps. He might have had it. That means, almost was able to get the knight pick as well, but neither one going in Wham's favor and actually losing a unit there that he shouldn't have too.
And the boar got killed there for B, which is something you want to do anyway, so he's gonna be looking good there. All is gonna be nice for him.
Yep, forcing those knights on back, but they are sure to circle around back towards the somewhere that they can get some damage.
Second TC looks like a third TC. Yeah, there's a third TC now from Wham. I mean, he saw the second TC from B, so he knows that he can go for a third TC. And with the military wing, might actually now also go into a little bit more of an aggressive play here in the feudal age. Knights, though, moving out towards the right side of the map, exactly where Wham is building his TC at the moment. This could be an ugly timing. The Knights are way faster than the units here from Wham. He does have a spearman there to defend, but it's only 1 spear versus 3 Knights.
It has one
right
chasing.
behind.
The Knights. So this is one of those that, like, Wham's happy that those Knights turn around. Even if he had lost the spearman, he's like, yeah, worth it. My TC goes up. And he has horsemen diving in on the wood line. So being annoying and causing some delay on the other side, which is not something you're used to ABBA 3 TCs being able to do, but that's exactly what Wham's being able to do.
Yeah, and Wham, I mean, that TC spot is so risky. It's completely surrounded by stealth forest, so really tough to keep to know what's going on around it. And now it looks like B is going towards the middle, is going to try to find some place for his knights to get some value right now, and both players are now going for, it looks like, a castle age transition. At least B is. He's macroing towards castle age right now. He's not producing any more knights. I say that. Castle curse. He's immediately queuing another one.
That's always the way it works, don't you know?
Yeah, for better or worse it is, and yeah, I mean potentially both players could stick it out a little bit longer here in the feudal age, and would definitely be interesting to see if that's going to be the case. Now 2 horsemen in the wood line, not going to be too much aggression. B can just turn around and fight there with the amount of villagers that he has there. Looks like Ram right now, he just wants to wall the map up, so he's got his units there in position in order to protect the villagers while they're walling. Oh no.
Uh-oh. And the
That
wall
could
gets
be-
blocked by B2. The scout just proving such a perfect job. What is that? 4 free villager picks right there?
Yeah, it looks to be 4, and that's the first villager kills of the game as well, going the way of B here, and yeah, B even not slipping up, sending another knight around, just making sure that even if the gate goes up, he's gonna have another knight on the other side.
Yep. Wham has been causing some pressure, but it's just been a little bit of idle time. Never any Vil kills or damage on the other side. Knights have to push back because more and more spears popping out from Wham.
Lots of military out on the field right now, but B, he's already gone for the triple composition. He's got spearmen, he's got knights, and he's got archers. And triple composition definitely gonna beat out knights, not knights, horsemen and spearmen. And yeah, I mean, if Wham doesn't spot that, B's already got some... oh, it's gonna be Eco Wing. Okay, so Wham baiting up behind this. All right, I like the plan.
I was about to say, I saw the resources in the bank. New Castle Age was about to be dropped, and B, he only really has a good amount of knights to speak for this right now. Doesn't really have that composition to all in a town center or all in a base, because the spears, they'll just say, all right, we're going to hold.
It's a little hole in the wall from Wham right now next to his third TC, and looks like he hasn't scouted yet. Pumbaa gets pulled here on the Spearman. Spearman just gonna ignore that, but Archer might actually potentially go down there. Archer survives with just a sliver of HP remaining. Knights once again trying to find value here. Potentially gonna find 2 villagers there. Actually, no. Oh, now moving away. Maybe the pathing just got blocked for them with the wall completing.
I think that's exactly what ended up happening. Gate gets canceled. Knights diving towards that secondary TC location and might actually find another way out, as the wall, we just mentioned it hadn't been built. There's a nice little hole and actually proved to be a benefit for Wham.
Yeah, but this also means that Wham is now going to be aware of that hole being there, and he's going to immediately close that up, making sure that there's not going to be any sneaky raids happening through there. And most importantly, the scout got killed, so now these knights are a little bit blind there. They don't know where to go in order to find damage.
And it makes it so much more difficult. You mentioned the stealth forest. Well, it's fine when you got a scout, but it's close to impossible to know what's out there when you don't. You kind of just get run into stuff and you end up hitting spears in melee range. Speaking of spears in melee range, we do see a good little surround by Wham, and he might be able to pick up some of these knights.
Yeah, a couple of knights going down here. Second knight going down.
Third knight and the fourth.
Ooh. All knights going down for a single another villager kill here. 5 villagers have been killed here so far. But now Wham is going to be in the next age. He still has a lot of spearmen. Archer mass is building from B right now, but Wham, he's adding in man-at-arms and crossbows. He still has a good resource bank. He's able to make a couple more of them. Also upgrading his spearmen right now, and doesn't have any blacksmith upgrades though.
I feel like, I mean, the blacksmith upgrade he's really missing would be ranged armor against that archer mass. It's really what can kind of be the loss there, because if his spears just start getting sniped out by the archers, that's the way he loses. Mangonel trying to be built, but not going to be ready in time. Vils need to pull back off that gold as B is going for this all in. Scout goes down again though.
Vision once again getting denied. Villagers going into the TC. Now TC firing upon the spearmen, firing upon the archers there. Villagers a little bit out of position there.
Yeah, and a decent timing attack. Men-at-Arms just trying to be that front line, trying to be that annoyance, but B doing such a good job of just sniping down all the spears with his archers that he has, and doesn't even care about the town center fire right now.
Yeah, it does mean though that he loses a good chunk of his army right now. One of the knights looks to be going down to the TC fire now as well. Loses an archer as well, and now the push is kind of stalling out right now. And Wham, he's not too far behind in the eco. He did get a bit of idle time caused in his base right there, but he's vastly ahead right now when it comes to attack, and his army is building.
Yeah, army's building quite fast, and it's more efficient army in that as well, as he's starting to get some crossbows, he's starting to get some men-at-arms, some archers mainly, to counteract the archers on the other side, and still has a decent bit of spearman mass. B, being the French, you know, they usually play this feudal age extended a little bit more, but Abbasid, their power spike is castled. That is where they love to be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we still see B investing a lot into his knights right now. He has a really, really big knight count. If he's able to get up to castle age with that and upgrade this, it's going to be quite hard for Wham to play against that. Now, Wham still has a lot of spearmen out in the field, but what's really dangerous for him right now is the amount of archers that B has. And I mean, men-at-arms are great against archers, but against the knights, not so much. Now Wham is adding his own archers in as well, but these are still feudal age archers.
Looks like B was going through a chop through on that southern side, but not going to be able to do so. Mangonel gets a decent shot out onto the few spearmen that 3DB has, and this is where the main engagement's going in. It's on the backside berries. Wham's still here with a good amount of vills, but moving his army over here, 3DB does need to be worried.
Royal Institute now going up behind this, and B, he still has the military lead right now when it comes to both the army value and army numbers, and if he's able to upgrade them, as I said, it might get a little bit dicier for Wham. Wham is now grabbing some upgrades. He's grabbing Fertile Crescent, he's grabbing the Spearman upgrade and for their range, so he's going to be having quite some strong Spearmen here to deal with these knights, but the question is, what is he going to do against the archers? Now, he has a Mangonel, but that Mangonel might get sniped rather quickly by the knights.
Yeah, Phalanx is one of those upgrades that I find very, very beneficial when you're like playing as the French. You don't really realize how strong it is until all of a sudden you're like, how are those spears hitting me from another light year away? And that's exactly what can be done. Composite bows being invested into as well, with Wham going heavier into this archer composition.
I just like this. He still doesn't have any blacksmith upgrades. He needs those if he wants to do any significant damage to these knights.
As long as the spears can protect up that Mangonel, I feel like Wham feels like he's in an okay position. It's almost like when you think of Chinese, when they go, okay, I'm going to go nested bees and spears. It's like, yeah, if you can't counteract that Mangonel fire, then your knights aren't going to be able to close the gap. They're not going to be able to dive onto the spear mass like they really want to.
Yeah, Wham. I mean, he... Just looking at the upgrades in general, he doesn't have a lot, and now Royal Bloodlines is queued by B. He might not even have to wait, though, until that finishes to take the next engagement.
Yeah, a minute and a half. He's got 22 knights, and there's only 24 spears. Usually, you're going to want at least the, 1.5. Usually, you want kind of 2 to 1, and it's the double chop through. And Wham spots it out again, though. This time, though, the rest of those Royal Knights, they're on the way. He might just need to run out of the gate instead.
Yeah, definitely needs to run here. I mean, he did grab Fertile Crescent, so his farm transition is already on the way. Army might potentially get trapped here, but the Mangonel, it's rather slow. It takes quite a while to catch up here now. Archers fighting against the archers. Knights trying to circle around there. Spearmen trying to catch up to them. But Mangonel is exposed. Mangonel likely to be going down here. Gets one shot off, not a big hit. And now the archers are surrounded.
Yeah, archers are surrounded. Knights are just so tanky. Royal Bloodlines not through, but like you said, Royal Bloodlines not really needed. Spears still here, but being sniped down by the archers and being sniped down fast.
The entire army for Wham, just like that dies. He just was a little bit too cocky, went out a little bit too far. Mangonel out of position, gets sniped. Archers, no upgrades have been researched yet for them, and yeah, they just weren't able to do what they needed to do here. Now if the food income, I mean, he does have another army here, but I feel like B knows that this is his timing right now to do damage.
Yeah, he chased a little too far with the spears, and they got just thinned out a little too much. You can see how low the knights are. If a couple of those got picked off, it would have felt so differently. Now we're seeing the knights close in around the villagers. Archers trying to snipe the other archers on the backside. Wham will be able to hold this, but finally starting to take some more damage.
Behind this, we now see B also making some crossbows. We see Wham investing into Camel Archer, like the play there behind that. Just getting that debuff out. That's also something that was missing there. 20% less damage on these knights. It matters quite a bit. Now the archers, they still don't have their most important upgrades in right now. Blacksmith upgrades only just now coming in for Wham. And it's all just been taking a while for him to get his things online. Military count right now, quite a bit behind, an army value. B almost having triple the army value right now that Wham has.
Yeah, I will say Wham was able to pick up 4 or so knights there with that pickup. That was very, very nice for him. Makes him feel a little bit better. And he will have 1 camel rider out, which all he needs is the presence of that camel rider to provide the camel unease debuff. That being said, Wham, you just we saw Vodka hover over a couple different locations. That gold is so worrisome if Wham was able to do any raiding, but not able to do so. Archer's number looking a lot healthier for Wham, but needs to make sure the spear count is healthy. That is going to be the key for him. Spear's down to 19, and the Royal Bloodlines is through. Those knights, they're not going to be able to be touched. This might just be game over now.
Might very well be, and now the death push is starting to come in. 22 knights still alive here right now for Wham, not a single crossbowman in the army for Wham. More spearmen in the queue, but he needs them outside, not in the queue right now. Still upgrades, a lot of these really important upgrades missing. He's not going to be able to do any damage to these knights with the archers, and once again, fight starting to happen here in the base of Wham. Archers exposed. Spearmen now going on to the knights, but knights surrounding the archers.
Knights surrounding everything. They should just be able to clear this whole entire mass. There's too many knights to deal with. They are French's favorite unit, and they are the favorite unit for a reason. Wham dropping a panic keep on the front side. Needs to go ahead and get that up as fast as he possibly can. That might be his way to extend this. That might be his way to stall it out, but there's knights on top of it. An absolute decimation in Wham's economy. Keep gets canceled, and Wham might just fall right after that keep.
Another panic heap goes up. Lots of villagers going down, though. The knights are right on there. So many villagers going down. 40 villagers have already gone down here for Wham. Even more falling right now. He's building another keep. He's had a lot of stone in the bank right now, trying to get keeps out right now, but it's just too little, too late, as 50 villagers have gone down right now. Wham behind by almost 40 villagers right now.
Jeez, all of a sudden, that was where you said it's the timing to press, and B did exactly that, pressing into the economy and just taking out anything and everything in his path. Another keep gets canceled, and another keep gets canceled. Villagers are just running anywhere and everything, and that's, you know, okay if you're up 40 vills, but not if you're down by 40.
Oh my god. All right, this is looking rough right now. I mean, Wham, he's somewhat able to stabilize, at least when it comes to the military that's in his base from B, but he's still behind by so much in the eco department now. So many villagers have gone down, and now forward siege workshop being dropped behind all of this. B gathered up all 5 relics.
Yeah, B just taking that map control as the French did all the right things you're supposed to do behind it. Invest into your eco, invest into your upgrades. Look at the top. He has every single eco upgrade, every single blacksmith upgrade, and he's still got everything that he wants out on the field. Knight numbers just too healthy for Wham to be able to deal with, and Wham didn't really make that perfect counter cavalry composition.
Just the lack of crossbows doing him in a little bit here, and that's not the biggest issue for him right now. On the right side of the map, he doesn't have any gold remaining at all. No gold access for him whatsoever. He can only make archers and spearmen now.
Yeah, I mean, at least that is a decent feeling being the Abbasid comparative to other civs, but still not a good feeling at all. Knights and archers circling around, and so many vills vulnerable at this location as well, trying to get the mangonel finish as fast as possible to be able to snipe down these ranged mass on the other side, but a perfect dodge from 3DB.
He manages to dodge that shot. Another shot coming in, though. This one isn't getting dodged, and hits, and it connects, and big damage has been done.
Yeah, that connection was absolutely perfect, but Wham is feeling the pressure here now. The numbers may be closer to even on the military, but the value is not there just due to the Knight mass, due to all of the better units, and oh my holy keep rush.
That's a lot of villagers on that keep, and he needs it up as soon as possible, but all of these knights are so tanky, they're just not going down. These are spearmen, they're supposed to counter them. Finally, Knight mass is starting to thin out a little bit, but he's just going to retreat and heal them back up, and Mangonel doing a good amount of damage here now. Wham also really need to break out there. He needed that wood access. It's gonna be able to burn down that ram now with the villagers and then have wood access again. B is gonna try and get a keep up there now.
starting to just run lower on all of these vital resources. You said the gold, now we're talking about the wood line. He's got 40 vills here, and I'm not sure what their plan is.
Yeah, but now the keep is being placed. He needs to direct to that ASAP, and once again, the Mangonel is a little bit off the rim there. Good mango shot, but more and more units are going to be coming in right now from B. Is the mango going to be enough to deny the keep, though? I'm not so sure, because there's also so many knights now. Knights are moving towards that mangonel.
Good dodge by those villagers. Knights diving the mangonel, and mangonel gets taken down. The keep should be going up here in just another couple seconds, and the knights are still running rampant. There's archers and spears, but not too many. The spear number is in single digits.
Yeah, it doesn't feel bad when your opponent has twice the knight numbers to your spearman numbers, and wham, he still doesn't have any access to gold right now, and he just pulled 50 villagers towards the one side of the map, and they're a little bit alone there right now, I must say.
Jeez.
The villagers on the bottom side, knights are moving towards that from B. Did get a keep up there, but no boiling oil means that B is just gonna be able to dive that, no problem. There's only so much space inside of that keep for the villagers to run in, to hide in, and oh my god, so many villagers going down there once again. I mean, Abyssinian villagers are cheap, but you still don't want to lose them like that.
I would not want to be a Wham villager this game, as 82 vills have fallen at the 26-minute mark, and there still seems to be a lot more that might be going down after that.
Ah, yeah, this is looking rough. Woodline about to be completely gone here now from Wham and that side, and I mean, at least he's securing himself a little bit more wood, but now the Rams are going to be coming in from B, and B wants to finish this game as soon as possible. He's just playing this so quickly in order to just do as much damage to Wham as possible.
Yeah, and I can't tell if those vills are trying to gather the woodline next to the edge of the map or escape the map to get to the next game so they get out with their lives here. Crossbow's just running across, but Wham, it still feels like half of his eco is just constantly idled, running around and being down vills.
Yeah, exactly. And behind that, B managed to finish his farm transition completely. He's just going to be able to completely pump out knights like there's no tomorrow right now. He's also got the keeps out, got the production buildings around the keeps. All of these knights are incredibly discounted, really, really cheap for him. And yeah, if a knight costs less than like 180 resources, you know that you're in really big trouble, because there's almost 25 knights out in the field right now.
Knights and Arbs just playing it smart, playing it together. Vill's trying to be pulled. Spearmen and archers are still there. B can probably, he thinks he can A move, but there are a lot of spears here, and it's still under keep fire. So you don't want to just be throwing these away for nothing, but with this much eco, you still kind of can.
Spears gone immediately in a heartbeat. All the spears are gone now, and Wham needs to retreat now with his units. Finally, he started to make some crossbows as well, but kind of feels like it's a little too late right now. Villagers, though, do escape from the keep. Wreckage, okay. Are gonna be able to run around, but
no, don't lead them to the other vills, though. Oh, they have a good amount of spears, though, in this stealth forest. Forces B right on back. Crossbows firing. Or not crossbows, those are arms firing, I should say. A much better unit than crossbows, as we've seen in games prior as well.
Yeah, the crossbows or the arbalistry doing so much damage. And now we see the Pavisa also being deployed. Now they're going to take a lot less damage from the archers as well, getting +5 ranged armor now. And keeping the front side from Wham is being sieged down by 5 rams, and the landmarks are laid bare. This could be a landmark victory now from B.
Yeah, I don't see a way that Wham's going to be able to hold this that well. He's got a lot of spears, he's got a lot of archers, but those rams are plentiful on the front side, and it's not like B's just sending rams. He's got plenty of military there as well, dropping another keep, and he's calling game.
Yeah, he's calling game for Wham here at this point. So many rams on that landmark. I mean, it's really, really tanky. We can see just how long it takes to go down, but Wham, he knows that he will not be able to win this game, and B takes the set 3-2 in an incredible best-of-5 between B and Wham.
What an exciting series, and I will say an extended series as it lasts a good bit, but that's what happens when you go to game 5. That's what happens when you have players that are just this evenly matched.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, evenly matched. That just hits the nail on the head. And this game was incredibly close. All the games so far here have been incredibly close between these two players. And B manages to edge it out. And wham, he's going to have to put his hopes on Puppy Paw for the Canadian representation for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we will be taking a little break as we have been going straight for almost 6 hours now, and I feel like that's kind of around when some of our typical days might end up finishing. I feel like it's usually about 7 hours. So we're gonna take a break. We're gonna figure out what we're doing behind the scenes next, as we were supposed to have 2 series for y'all next, and we'll see what our great creator Pesty has to decide for us behind this. But y'all go get some water, go get some snacks, and don't forget to check right back in here in just a little bit.